Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm Celis Wilder, and I'm a Democrat running for the United States Senate because I believe in a brighter Kentucky. I'm running because our children deserve clean water, healthy lives, and secure futures. I'm running because I believe in a nation that values the lives of real people more than we value corporate profits.
That's right.
I'm running because we need Democratic candidates who can be open-hearted with the public about where we stand and who aren't afraid to truthfully address the challenges we face as a Commonwealth. I'm running because we need to help the many Kentuckians who have been left behind by our economy. From the coal fields of eastern and western Kentucky to the inner cities of Lexington and Louisville and everywhere in between, I'm running because we need real solutions to the very real problems we face, even when those conversations are difficult to have. Now, I know this is a radical idea, but it's my intention to run the most open-hearted, truthful, and caring campaign we've seen in generations. This campaign is about the health of the Commonwealth and the health of our people and the health of our water and land and air, the health of our finances and the health of our spirits. I intend to bring people together, find common ground, and finally, with your support, I intend to win this election. But like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I am going to be honest with you. When I first considered running for this office, I didn't think I could win. I mean, my goal at first was just to use this platform to preach these values, to set some new ideas on the table, to elevate the debate, and to kickstart some long overdue conversations around our Commonwealth. But then something funny started happening. People started getting fired up. People started getting on board. And it became clear that this message is resonating, and that many Democrats in particular are ready for candidates who aren't afraid to be honest with the public about where we stand, who aren't afraid to be Democrats. You know, and that doesn't mean that I have to agree with the National Party on everything, because I don't, and that's okay. I think it's important to be a free and independent thinker. And I'm not here to attack any political parties, and I'm not going to attack any of my opponents personally. It's important that we approach these discussions with sincere, open hearts, and that we try to find the value, the positive value, and the common ground in these conversations. You know, I'm not here to attack conservative principles either, because I share many of them. I agree that we need to balance the budget. I agree that tackling our federal deficit should be a top priority. You know, and there's no easy ways to do that. And we shouldn't do it at the expense of our most vulnerable citizens.
Right.
But it can be done if we set aside our partisan differences and work together. I mean, there's plenty of waste and abuse in our budget that can be cut out. And we can get rid of loopholes that allow multi-billion-dollar corporations to avoid paying any income taxes at all, because that's just not right. And if we need to raise taxes modestly on the wealthiest among us, then so be it. You know, we can do that and still tax them less than they paid under successful Republican presidents like Dwight D. Eisenhower. And while we're on the economy, we need to break up the financial institutions that hold our economy hostage by being too big to fail. And I agree with my likely Republican opponent that we need to audit the Federal Reserve. And like many Kentuckians, I have a healthy libertarian streak. I mean, our Bill of Rights is a profound document. And we need to respect and uphold each and every one of those 10 precious amendments, including the ones that don't get much attention, like the right to privacy and the right to a fair trial. We shouldn't give up a single inch of those freedoms and liberties for any reasons. And most of us agree on these things, but this thing we do in politics where we attack each other's ideologies and we attack each other's parties, that's counterproductive. That's divisive. That doesn't help anybody. And Kentuckians deserve better. Because here's the thing. I know that many Kentuckians who share these values also share something else. We share a special kind of hospitality in Kentucky. And folks always say so when they come in to visit from out of state. We're a caring people. Most of us worship a loving God. I think most of us want to look out for our neighbors. And we take pride in being a commonwealth. I'm a Democrat. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that along with these values, I also have the affectionate and hopeful heart of a liberal. I mean, I'm proud to stand up and say that we should treat each other fairly and with justice and with basic human dignity. I get angry when children drink polluted water just to benefit somebody else's bottom line, or when executives hold on tight to their own fortunes while former employees worry about losing their pensions and health care. When business owners refuse to let their employees organize just to guarantee a decent quality of life for their own families. And it saddens me. It hurts my heart when real people get treated like they're less important just because they're not well off, or because of the color of their skin, or because of their gender, or because of who they love, or because of their faith. We don't solve any of our problems. We don't make the world a better place. We don't make our own lives any better when we pick on each other and we fight with each other. But if we can listen to each other and treat each other with dignity and respect, then we can disagree on all the things we disagree on. But if we can at least come together and help each other out where we find common ground, then we can all enjoy a brighter future together. I know I can win because people are responding to this message of compassion and sincerity. You know, it's already reaching hearts across political divides. And people are coming together and getting on board. I mean, I know I can win with an open heart, a truthful message, and a diverse coalition that's ready to stand up and insist that the United States of America is not a nation dedicated to corporations and to the pursuit of profit and power at the expense of our neighbors, but is rather a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people, in which we all have a right to life and to liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Do you believe in that United States of America? Do you believe in a brighter Kentucky? I believe it too, but I need your help. We can win, but it won't be easy. I mean, people are searching for an authentic candidate, but we don't have much time to get the word out. We've got a long way to go and only 3 months to get there. And I'm going to be sprinting a marathon until the primary on May 17th. And I'm already starting out way behind because each of my major opponents can afford to give their own campaigns over $1 million right off the bat. But I'm not discouraged. I feel good. I'm excited because the more I share this message, the more people hear about our campaign and our platform, the more people get on board. And the folks lining up in my corner know I can win because Kentuckians are tired of all this political fighting. Many of us are ready to come together and find common ground and work together to lift each other up. And that's going to require honest conversations, bipartisan cooperation, creative solutions, and good old-fashioned hard work. And I've done this before. As a city commissioner and mayor pro tem of Frankfort, I brought unprecedented levels of transparency and accountability to our local government. We went out of our way to gather public input. We started recording all of our own meetings and sharing the videos online so that everybody could see exactly what we were doing. We ended years of budget deficits that were draining our financial reserves and produced healthy surpluses instead. I led the way as we became the first city in Kentucky to incentivize recycling. We lowered over 95% of our constituents' garbage bills and increased the recycling rate by 40% in the first month alone. And that garbage program was hard to pass. I know some of you remember this. It was controversial because it was a new idea. The newspaper didn't like it. A lot of people didn't think it could work. But before long, it was officially rated by the public as one of the most popular programs in the city. And since then, I worked with many of you to help defend Kentuckians from the Bluegrass Pipeline. And that pipeline, in case you all didn't hear about it, was an effort by some out-of-state companies to pipe hazardous liquids through Kentucky down to the Gulf Coast, where they would have been refined into plastics or shipped and sold overseas. And that pipeline would have posed significant dangers to many Kentuckians, and it wouldn't have served a single one of us. But when that multi-billion-dollar company started trying to bully their way onto Kentucky farms, threatening landowners with eminent domain just for the sake of corporate profits, a diverse coalition rose up to defend their land and their liberty and their lives. And I was proud to be part of a coalition ranging from Tea Partiers and constitutional conservatives to churches and farmers and ranchers and environmental activists and grassroots groups and nonprofits. And the odds were against us because the other side had all the money. And a lot of people in the beginning didn't think we even stood a chance. But our cause was just, and we worked together, and we had the truth on our side. And even though the pipeline company spent millions of dollars trying to misrepresent the issue, we persevered. Real people stood up and insisted that their land, their lives, their health, their liberty was more important than corporate profits, and we won against all odds, even when conventional wisdom and common sense said we didn't stand a chance. And that's what our nation needs right now. That's what Kentucky needs right now. We need diverse coalitions to come together and join hands across political divides to lift all Kentuckians up. We need to find new opportunities and new hopes for our communities that have been devastated by the decline of the coal industry, with relief for out-of-work miners, with investments in land reclamation and diversified local economies and solar farms and infrastructure development and the good jobs that come along with those investments. I mean, these families have dedicated their land and their lives to our state's economy, and they have very little left to show for it now, and we owe them a debt. Our greatest natural resource is our people. And we need to start mining that resource. We need to invest in our people. We need to stop wasting our defense budget on vehicles and supplies that we don't need, that we end up scrapping or stacking up in storage, and start meeting the basic health care and mental health care needs of the service people who actually make our armed forces strong. Because when we have strong people, then we have a strong military. We need strong unions to protect our middle class. We need a minimum wage that covers the basic costs of living, because nobody who works 40 hours a week should ever have to choose between heating bills and groceries. We need criminal justice reform. We need an examination of our for-profit prison industry. And to be clear, I'm not saying that all corporations are bad. There's plenty of great companies out there, and we need to work with corporate partners who recognize the value of a healthy society. We need to acknowledge that Black lives matter. And that Appalachian lives matter. And that Kentucky lives matter. And that we can all help each other if we just come together and look out for each other. Our state motto is united we stand, divided we fall. Are you all ready to stand up for what's right? Yeah. Because I am. Do you believe in a brighter Kentucky? Yeah. Because I believe. Do you believe we can win this thing? Yeah. Because I know we can. Are you ready to be part of this campaign? Then let's do it together. Get on board. Thank you. Thank you.